Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Tesla report for Thursday, August 17th, 2023. Before we click through all the charts, as usual, just want to encourage you to please click like if you haven't already and become a Wicked Stocks YouTube channel subscriber. Share the content, if you would, with friends and colleagues, and check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full suite of both daily and weekly analytical videos just like this. Daily analysis in the SPY and the Triple Q, weekly analysis in the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, and the long bond ETF, the TLT, as well as two individual stock picks a week that you never see on YouTube that cater to the 3 to 5 week out to the 3 to 5 month near-term investor, always looking for 20% swings on those individual stock picks. We also offer a 5-day free trial up front. So if you sign up, you've got 5 days to decide whether you like what you see or not before you can bow out at no cost to you whatsoever, but I suspect you may just stick around a while once you see all the good stuff that we offer on wickedstocks.com. So, jumping to the charts, we'll start with the big picture, work our way into the day itself. We came off longer term resistance about a month and a week ago at 299.81 this week, this rising channel top that we tested a lot, following a buy signal actually a couple of months earlier above the 176.78 long-term descending channel top. So this rising channel top was a 2 to 3 month objective that we realized within about a month. We spent about a month testing it, and we fell back pretty decisively about 5 weeks ago, setting up in the process a sell signal that I'll show in a moment. But nonetheless, once we tested the 299.81 channel top, I've been mentioning how the channel bottom that is presently at 211.70 on the weekly chart, I can actually show it here, 211.70 on the weekly chart. That remains a 1 to 2 month possibility. Now a clear target following the settlement about a week and a couple of days ago below this 254.49 speed line. So I'll back up again just to re-express all that. Holding below the 299.81 formation after having tested it would keep the 210s in reach as a 1 to 2 month possibility. The rising channel bottom now at 211.70, and that became a clear-cut target once we settled about, 6-7 trading days ago, about a week and a half ago, below this rising speed line at 254.49. That then became a 2 to 3 week objective, now at 212.62 on the daily chart, and once again on the weekly chart at 211.70. So let's go back to this daily chart. We have 212.62 as a 2 to 3 week target. We may actually see that over the next few days, perhaps. 212.62 rising gradually on the daily chart, converging next week. Is that next week? Yeah, I think that's the last day of the week, next Friday, with the 217.65 February high. But I think we're going to see this area before all that. This is especially true having closed clearly on Wednesday below this 233.82 trend line off these lows that performed pretty well. It actually held a couple of times, and then we closed below it on Monday, continued south on Tuesday, continued south on Wednesday, and so here we are. Now, for the day itself, and this actually shows pretty well what the dynamic is for the day. 233.82, good day resistance, able to contain session strength, below which the 223.85 level in reach, and able to contain session weakness. It's about, did I say session weakness? I meant 33.82 can contain session strength. 23.85 can contain session weakness. That is daily highs, daily lows. Now, keep in mind that we're heavy below 54.49 and again today below 33.82 and into later week. So breaking 23.85 is certainly a possibility. And if we do so, I do think that the where are you again? The 217.65 level is in reach, which is at this point in time a very wide zone, about 6 points wide. You can see lower right here down to 211.70. So, I'm going to go back and just mention that if we break or open today below 223.85, and that's a 3/8 Fibonacci from the January low against the more recent July high, 223.85, respectable support, able to contain session weakness. And if we break or open below 223.85, 223.85, then 217.65 in reach, which is nothing more than the February high. And we backed off from that high for several months before taking it out. I mean, it was a February high, and I think it was early June before we took it out. So it is respectable support. I have it as a 4-star multi-week containment level, meaning it can contain selling into possibly through September trade. And that is also true with this channel bottom at 212.62, able to contain selling through September trade, possibly the rest of the year. This is a meaningful zone of long-term support that, if we test 217.65 today, you could basically say that we are beginning to test our zone of long-term support that's been it's been a 2 to 3 week objective really since we closed below 254.49 about a week and a half ago. And it's really been a 1 to 2 month possibility, as I've been saying, since testing that 299.81 longer term channel top about a month and a half ago. So here we are closing in on meaningful support. I will just step out and tell you that if this market sells off significantly over the next couple of days and we settle tomorrow, Friday, below 211.70 by a 1% margin, in other words, a Friday settlement at 209.58 or lower, that sets up for bearish continuation into the 170s. This former long-term channel top at 176.78 and a rising 2/3 speed line. They converge right now. This zone would become our next 2 to 3 week target. I think that's about all it would take. And this area equally significant to 211.70. I just want you to know. So 211.70 is the area to buy into through the rest of the year, because from here we can turn back up to the channel top that is at 299.81 and climbing weekly. And in terms of through the rest of the year heavy trade, that would come with a settlement below 176.78. So bullish above 211.70 through the rest of the year, bottom picking territory, and only unless we close below 176.78 do you play the short side aggressively longer term through the rest of the year and even into Q1 of next. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself on all that. Let's go back to the day itself. Let's take a look at some of the charts we have prepared here. You've got 223.85. I've already shown that. We're close to testing that today. If we break or open below at 217.65 in reach. I showed all that earlier. 233.82 is that trend line I showed earlier. If we push or open today above 233.82, I think 239.39 is likely. We could top out there intraday, possibly for the day itself. But if we close today above 233.82, I would expect within several days 249.56. I'd say that's a 2 to 3 day target. So 3 to 5 day swing traders, you can sell 233.82 in anticipation of, 217.65, because that is the play right now, back down to long-term resistance. But if we close above 233.82, you can play the long side, long for several days up to 249.56, where we can top out by that point in time through next week and fall off again. If we close above 249.56, this formation at 263.80 becomes the next 2 to 3 to 5 day target. 263.80 is dropping at a pretty good pace, and I'll just give you the heads up that right now, I'll look at this chart here. There's a lot here with the line studies, but this 254.49 is climbing, and by I think it's the middle of next week, it will actually converge with this 263.80 descending channel top. The only problem with that is as we continue to break to new lows, this channel top becomes steeper and lower in value. So at this point in time, that's what I'm seeing. But I'm just going to, I don't know how else to clarify it. What I'm going to say right now is if we were to test this today, 249.56, and we're not, but if we were, I would call that a range of resistance up to 254.49 that is able to contain buying through next week and into September, and once again below which 212.62 remains a 2 to 3 week target, and we're about a week and a half into that right now and closing in on it. So I will say that if we close back above the 254.49 speed line, climbing gradually and converging soon with the extreme channel top I showed a moment ago, that is our upward pivot point into September. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. What I will say, the last thing I will say, is if we close today above 233.82, we've got a good low for the week. Into next week, we should within 2 or 3 days reach 249.56. And I'm just going to leave it at that for now. I think that's all that needs to be said for Thursday's Tesla. I'll be back tomorrow with Fridays. Please click like, share, subscribe, and check out wickedstocks.com. You have a great day.